my darlings, I'm Sophie Darling and welcome back to the channel. Today we're reacting to episode 7 of season 1 of Demon Slayer. Last episode we saw Tanjiro heading out on his first mission. He has confronted what I believe is all the same demon because demons don't band together by principle, and they keep referring to each other as like my other self, so I'm not quite sure how it works. I initially thought they were all like illusions, but they all look different. They could be all the same person but split, so like different personalities, because they all act and behave differently, but they all do the teeth grinding, which we know from the snippet at the end of episode 6. This is what the demon used to do as a human, which was grind their teeth. And all three of them do it, but all three of them also act differently and behave differently. So it's almost like a split personality. It's kind of like maybe the different aspects of themselves have split into 3 different demons, or maybe this is also just part of the blood art, that it's one demon but it can split itself into 2 others. I'm not entirely sure how it works, but I'm sure they will give us a little bit more context. Natsuko has undergone hypnosis in order to see all humans as her family and see all demons as the enemy, which minimizes her threat to humans. I can kind of understand why people might be a little bit unhappy with Uridaki for doing it without her consent, but at the same time, I think the reason he does it is to protect humanity. He has to ensure that humanity is safe. And as much as Nezuko is showing that she is restraining that demonic urge and she is holding back from attacking humans, that's not to say that she's always going to be that way. And she may find herself in a situation where the temptation is too much and even she can't resist it. So I think from everything that he's seen and witnessed in his years as a demon slayer, and also having trained students to go and take the final selection, in which all of them bar Tanjiro, I believe all of them bar Tanjiro have died, kind of alluded to Tanjiro being the only successful student of Uridaki because of the morph demon that he had sealed away targeting them all, unless there was some that were able to escape it. I'm not sure, but I think the premise is that Tanjiro is the only one. He's been through a lot, and he's not going to risk humans on this off chance that Nezuko might be different. He's going to take every precaution possible. I can understand if people are upset because it's non-consensual and he did it without even informing Tanjiro until after the fact, but you have to weigh up the fact that he's doing it in order to protect humanity. That's his priority. As much as he wants Tanjiro to be successful and he wants Nezuko to be turned back into a human, he's going to prioritize humanity over Nezuko, because so long as she is a demon and she's in this demonic state, she's always a potential threat. So he's seeing it from that angle. But even he said he wasn't sure if it would work. So it was kind of an experimental tactic, but I don't think we can really bring up the idea of it being consensual or non-consensual when we have demons acting on this impulse and bestial drive. But I don't think it's really fair to judge him for doing it. I think based on his experiences and everything he's gone through, he's doing what he believes is best for humanity and for Tanjiro in the future, in the long run, because if Nezuko becomes a threat, Tanjiro's the one that has to kill her and put her down. He doesn't want this boy to have to go through all of that. He's doing this as much for Tanjiro as he is for humanity, as well as trying to ensure that Nezuko isn't a danger and that nobody sees her as a danger and is also a threat to her. I think it makes sense for who he is and everything he's been through. It would be weird if he didn't try and do everything he could to try and restrain that demon urge in her, but by the by, we learned a little bit more of the world building, that there's only one demon and it's kind of the father of all demons. All demons originate from him, and he kind of looks like Michael Jackson. Not quite sure why, but he does look like Michael Jackson, at least from the silhouette that we saw. It was very Smooth Criminal-esque. So maybe when we actually see him in person, he might look less like Michael Jackson, but for the time being, it's the Michael Jackson demon. I can't remember his name off the top of my head either. So in my mind, I'm just like Michael Jackson demon is the big bad demon of Demon Slayer, who's responsible for all the demons that we see that were previously human being turned. So he is the one that will likely know how to turn Natsuko back. So we kind of have a big bad guy and our mission to track him down and try and extract that information from him. But if he's like the big bad guy, he's going to be incredibly wily and manipulative. And it wouldn't surprise me if perhaps he's not the only one that's doing it. He's just the only one that's really known. That there's maybe others that do the same thing. So is it only his blood that can turn humans into demons? Or like, could any demon now, because they possess demon blood, technically turn a human into demon? I think the way that they phrase it is that like all the demons originate from him. He's the one that's turning them all into demons, but it kind of raises the question as to whether like a standard demon could do it. Maybe not. Maybe it's something to do with like his blood specifically, because if he's like the first demon or like the father of demons, then it is likely something to do with like him having abilities that no standard demon would have. Either way, we're about to get back into episode 7, and hopefully we'll learn a little bit more about why the teeth grinding is so prevalent. Again, it's a compulsive habit, so I think maybe it's just a human characteristic that they've brought over into being a demon and they retain it, which I said in episode 6, we also noticed with the morph demon and the concept of hands. It's a human characteristic, a human attachment that they somehow remember and retain in a demon-like state, even when they've forgotten everything else. It's something that like is either compulsive or has like such a deep emotional impact that they can't break away from the hold that it has on them. But without further ado, let's get into episode 7. I hate that noise. It's foul. She's so cool. She's like, you don't mess with my brother. She's like, nobody's messing with Tanjiro. That's the demon's name. I just can't remember how to say it. Maybe I'll just keep calling him the Michael Jackson demon.
Let's go.
It's too dangerous for you to go on your own. Oh no! Ah, let's go! Oh, okay. The senses are insane. He's still in Big Brother mode though. But that's his baby sister. It's really hard for him to not want to protect her. Oh! They're splitting him off from them. What? Tanjiro, please! It's like, yes. He's showing that he trusts her. I love that. He's finally accepting that Natsuko's not weak, that she can take care of herself. Oh god, Tanjiro, you're braver than I am. So many girls. Yeah. It is unforgivable. They were so innocent. I mean, he was trained on that mountain for a reason, to get used to restricted air. Ugh, the noise. I hate it. Exactly. It was all part of his training. He's got used to it. Ooh. What movie are we about to see, Tanjiro? Show us. Come on, Tanjiro. What the fuck? Like a whirlpool? They're like sharks. It's crazy. Oh my god! Oh, that's so cool. What did he grab? She makes it look so effortless. Oh my god! Oh, so that's how she's got her strength. But why did he give her so much blood? Is there a reason? Did he want to use her somehow? Oh! Not when her big brother's around. Tanjiro's not letting that happen. The music is so good. Oh, let's go, Tanjiro. What an icon. Yes, she did. Oh, just the admiration she has for her brother. It's so cute. That's disgusting. That's a horrible way to think about women. Yeah, he's like, I don't want to listen to this nonsense anymore.
Kibutsuji Muzan について知っていることを話してもらう。
Oh, he's terrified. He's like, please don't. I don't want to tell you about him. Oh, is he sworn to secrecy? He won't. I think he'd rather die. Oh, so they're all sworn to secrecy. But it also implies that he's so scary that they'd rather embrace death than his wrath.
喋ってはいけない。私のことを誰にも喋ってはいけない。喋ったらすぐにわかる。私はいつも君を見ている。
That is menacing.
骨の奥まで震えるような恐怖の匂い。
You could see how damaged his teeth were as a human from all the grinding.
何も聞き出せない。
It's only the fifth demon that you've encountered. You can't expect to find the information so quickly. It's not a failure. You'll find it eventually.
回復するための眠りか。
She's going to be out for a while. I wonder if her sleep will become shorter
ごめんな。
the more she gets used to using her strength and abilities.
人間に戻してやるからな。
Oh, he knows that look. He's been there.
かずみさん、 役者を失って
Oh, it was his
大丈夫だと
fiance.
思うか失っても失っても生きていくしかないんです
Oh.
どんなに打ちのめされようとお前に何がわかるんだお前みたいな
More than you'll realize. His entire family was wiped out. Oh, I love him so much. I'm getting really emotional because he's just such a good kid.
この中にさとこさんの持ち物があるといいのですが
Oh, a ribbon. He has something to remember her by. The fact that he thought of that, knowing that he had to go back in order to take out the final demon, but he still made that a priority. Like,
そうなのか
what a guy.
どうか許してくれ
He doesn't need to forgive you because it's already forgiven. He understands more than anyone.
痛ましい手固
The
く鍛え抜かれ
calluses
た
on his hands as well.
少年の手ではなかった
A warrior's.
性の方お願いします
Oh, my heart. What a guy.
どれだけの人を殺し痛めつけ苦しめた
Too many.
鬼物人無惨俺はお前を絶対に許さない
次は東京府浅草鬼が潜んでいるとの噂
We have our second mission. Time to go.
ちょっ
No
と待
rest.
って
またない
ちょっといいか
かららさっさと行く
It's like, God damn, give me a second. Just finish one mission. He's like, nah, come on. Off you go. He's so overwhelmed.
街はこんなに発展しているのか
He's from a rural area and now he's having to see like an urban development. Like, this is mind blowing to him, especially because you can see like the traditional wear contrasted with like the modern developing technology.
都会って
So it's like on the cusp of modernization, essentially.
あっち行こう禰豆子
No, we're seeing urban advancement. We're seeing.
失礼しました
He's like, I've never seen this before. Rural life contrasted with city life. He's overwhelmed by the colors, by the lights, by how many people there are.
玉かけうどんください
It's like, I need a quiet place. Oh, that looks so good. Oh, demon. But such an overwhelming smell that even he's like, oh shit. Is this Michael Jackson, demon? You just left your sister!
どうして突然こんなところで
It's the same scent that he smelled when his family were killed. But he's also just left Nazuko. I understand, but like you've left your sister. It is him. And he's walking around as if he's one with everyone else in the crowd.
こいつが
He's blended in.
お父さん
Wait, what?
誰
こいつ
大丈夫だよ
こいつ
安心なさい
こいつ人間のふりをして暮らしているんだ
I did posit if this would be something that would come up.
あらどうしたの
What the fuck?
人間だ女の子と女の人は人間の匂いだ
He's like, how is this possible?
わからないのかこいつが鬼だって人を食うって
And yet has a family. and is living amongst humans.
知らない子ですね。人違いではないでしょうか。
まあ、そうなの？あなた、どうしました？
He just turned him into a demon! Holy shit! What? So it was just that quick and easy for him. He just literally has to cut someone. Whoa, that's insane.
ついに鬼物寺無惨を見つけた。こいつを倒せば禰豆子を人間に。禰豆子も似合いそうだな。その間に大将こそこそ噂話。うどん屋の豊さんは浅草生まれ浅草育ち、浅草を愛しているので浅草でうどんを作っているらしいですよ。スーツか。ちょっと大人になった気がするな。任務に戻らないと。次回第8話、幻惑の血の香り。
So then the biggest question is that child actually his, or is that child adopted? Or maybe the woman he's with had a child before she met him and he's kind of taken on the father role. I did pause it. I think it was like back in episode 2 if we would see demons smart enough and crafty enough to be able to live amongst humans and to hide who they really are. And he obviously can. He can restrain himself from having to consume humans. Does he consume humans? Does he eat them? Because this was the thing that confused me, was that like when we saw Tanjiro's family, they hadn't been eaten. They'd been killed, but they hadn't been eaten. Or it didn't look like they had been. And then Nezuko got turned. But he's given her so much blood that it obviously is intentional that he turned her. But why? Is it because she was protecting her younger brother? Did he see something in her that made him want to turn her into a demon and make her so powerful that other demons would struggle against her? And she hasn't even learned any skills yet. She's just literally relying on like raw physical strength. I don't know. I think he saw something in her and maybe wanted to have her on his side without realizing that there was like another sibling who he missed, who was able to kind of bring Nezuko back to herself. Kind of like it eluded him, it eluded his knowledge. But that's crazy that he's just residing here, is able to just turn someone so quickly. Is he doing it as a distraction? It must be, because this focus is now going to be on this demon that's going on a rampage. But it was just how locked in he was to that scent that he's just completely forgot about Nezuko. I know he's kind of come to that realization that Nezuko can take care of herself and that he doesn't really need to worry about her, but she's asleep. So, like, she kind of does need him in those moments, because if anything happens to him, she's just there out in the sunlight if she doesn't wake up in time. So, like, his desire for revenge and that anger that comes with smelling that scent, because it brings back those memories of finding his family slaughtered, is what, like, drives him to forget about her. And it's not a condemnation of Tanjiro, I must stress that. It's more just showing that like you can have the most noblest of intentions and be the most selfless and thoughtful individual, but you can still lose yourself to your anger, to that rage that's inside of you, to exact revenge on the behalf of your family. But also, this is the person that will have the knowledge as to how to bring Nezuko back. So, of course, that also factors into it. But it is his anger that's driving him at that point. We now have, I cannot say his name for the life of me, and I'm too scared to try, who's living amongst humans, hiding himself. And I don't know if he needs to eat humans or not. It maybe doesn't seem like he needs to. Is living with a wife and a child, because if he needed to eat humans, wouldn't it be so risky to like have a wife and a kid, to be living this fake life to avoid suspicion? But also, why did he feel the need to have a family? Couldn't he just have stayed as a bachelor? Interesting. Not entirely sure why he feels the need, but it is likely to blend in. And if anyone kind of accuses him, he can be like, well, no. As well as the fact that Tanjiro only held back because there's the little girl. She's an innocent in this. So he kind of could be using them almost as like a de facto shield, because human slayers are not going to be exempt from human emotional ties and connections. So if they confront him and they're forced to risk this woman and her child who are innocent and don't know, well, we're presuming they don't know, then they're not going to want to put them in harm's way. So that could be a way of like holding a demon slayer back, or at least causing them to hesitate, and that gives him an advantage, because if they hesitate, he can act quicker than they can, and he's not going to. So he's going to be able to get one over. I'm not sure. I'm sure it will make more sense, but I did also have an earlier theory as to whether we would see potential children that are mixed between humans and demons, that they could have a demon parent and a human parent, but I don't know if that's the direction this is going in, or if like she's adopted or he has married someone that has a child already from a previous relationship, because the little girl does look very like her mom. So it could just be that. I'm focusing way too much on that, but it just kind of caught me off guard that he has like a family and that like he's blending in, because it was a thought process I'd had. But Tanjiro has so many questions, but I don't think this guy's going to give any answers, because he is using his abilities to distract Tanjiro, most likely so he can make distance. But yeah, I am curious as to what happens between him and Nezuko, why Nezuko has more blood than other demons. What was it that made him turn Nezuko? And it must be to do with her trying to protect her youngest brother, because the whole family was slaughtered inside, but Nezuko was outside and she had the little one on the ground with her. So she was making a run for it, as if she was trying to protect this younger sibling at all costs, even putting her life on the line to protect him. And maybe that resonated with him somehow. I was hoping we'd get a little bit more context as to the teeth grinding, that it would kind of maybe be like the morph demon, that in his final moments we'd maybe see more of his human background, but I think this was more just driving home the point that we saw with the morph demon, that they do retain some of their human characteristics. I love Tanjiro so much, just the kindness and the want to comfort this, I would have said boy, but it's not a boy if he has a fiance. He could be like a teenager, but like I didn't think he was old enough to have a fiance, but that's by the by. That desire to want to comfort him, because he can see in his eyes the same feelings that he felt when he saw his family ripped away from him, when he had to experience that loss. And he's passing down the same message that was passed on to him, that you have to pick yourself up and you have to move forward. You can't just give up. Yes, it's hard and it's awful and it's devastating, but you can't allow this loss to define who you are, to cherish the memories of those that are gone and to live for them, because they aren't coming back and there's nothing you can do to bring them back. But what you can do is honor their memory by continuing to live for yourself. You can hold their memory with you so long as you live. And this is a reoccurring theme that I've seen in a lot of shows so far, that even though someone is gone, they are still with you so long as you continue to be alive. Because if you're alive, you can cherish them. You can take their memories forward with you. But if you are gone and they are gone, then there is no one there to remember you both. So you have to keep moving forward. You can't just give up. It's very much a pervading theme, which I just adore, because it's such a positive way of looking at loss, and this idea that yes, it's painful and it hurts, but you have the ability and the strength to pick yourself up and to overcome it, that you can continue to live for them as much as for yourself. that you can't allow the pain to solely define you, because there is still the chance for hope and kindness and love, and we will never experience that if we lock ourselves away from it because we're embroiled in our pain and our devastation. That we can't just sink into a depression because there's more life to live. This isn't the end, even though it may feel like it. And the way that he's incessantly apologizing to Tanjiro, where he's saying, I'm so sorry, I should never have said that, it was really mean. Tanjiro doesn't even have to tell him that he's forgiven, because Tanjiro didn't take it to heart. He knows what he's going through. He's experienced it. He knows that what he said was in the heat of the moment. He's just lost his fiance. He knows she's not coming back. He now only has this ribbon to remember her by. He's devastated. And Tanjiro knows that he would likely say something in the heat of the moment that he would regret too. So there's no need to forgive him because he never took offense to it. He was not hurt by it. Though one of the aspects that I'm really loving about the show is this idea that you can sympathize, but you don't have to forgive them, that you don't have to forget the harm and the pain that they've caused. And we're seeing that where he's saying this is unforgivable. This is beyond the ability to forget. Look at all the harm and pain and suffering they've caused to not only these girls, but their families, those that live on long after they're gone, having to feel the loss of that person no longer being in their lives. Tanjiro can't forgive that. He can't forget it, but he can empathize with them nonetheless. It's a very powerful aspect of Tanjiro's character and his strength that he can still find this connection to them on the basis that they used to be human. He can still empathize with the situation that they are in because this wasn't something that they chose, it was forced upon them. But at the same time, he doesn't forgive what they've gone on to do because he knows firsthand the pain and suffering that it causes. I just think there's such power in this ability to still have sympathy and empathy for someone whilst at the same time not absolving them of the pain that they've caused, not absolving them of the sins that they've committed. You know, they're not just saying mean things, they're actively killing humans and targeting them, and it's brutal. But it's nice to have a character that doesn't feel the need to forgive them, because not everyone that harms you does deserve forgiveness. And it's such a good message to give to people, because I think there's this sort of pervading idea that in society, if someone apologizes, you have to forgive them. But I don't think that's the case. I think you can empathize and you can sympathize, but you don't have to forgive someone for the harm and the pain that they've caused you. You don't have to just forgive someone because they say sorry. You can walk away, you can let go of that resentment and that anger without absolving them of their actions, without telling them that what they did is suddenly okay because they said sorry, because it's not. And it's that ability for Tanjiro to do that, to still find the kindness within himself, to extend that sympathy, is what really makes him stand out to me, because there would be so many in this world that would not be able to do what he does, because demons are man-eaters, they're devastating families, they're seen as literal monsters, whereas Tanjiro can see the humanity that used to be within them because of the fact that Nezuko has been turned into one, and he can see the struggle that she went through in order to retain aspects of her humanity. He can empathize with it because he has a sister that has been turned into a demon, but he doesn't have to forgive those that actively go out and hunt humans, because it's not so much that Nezuko is an exemption to the rule, but more the fact that Nezuko is able to restrain it, meaning that other demons would have also had that chance to restrain it, but instead of fighting against that demonic nature, they give into it. And I think that's part of where the lack of forgiveness comes in, where it's like, you could have made a choice between giving in to the bestial nature or trying to retain this human aspect of yourself, and you gave into it, whereas Nezuko didn't. So I think because he's able to see both sides, he's able to find kindness for them and wants them to rest in peace and to hopefully have a better chance of being reborn without suffering this fate once more, to have a chance of redemption, but he's not going to be the one that forgives them. He's not going to be the one that tells them that what they did is okay because they said sorry. Not that they say sorry, but you get what I mean. He doesn't have it in him to forgive, and I completely get that. And likewise, he probably is going to find himself in a situation where he feels sorry for this guy who turned Nezuko and killed his family, but isn't going to forgive him for that. His driving force is this desire for revenge against the person that killed his family and harmed his sister. So I think we could see him kind of wrestling with that at the same time as like, I still need to get rid of you because you are so dangerous to humanity that you can't be allowed to exist. Because even though I feel for you and I have empathy for you, you're still a danger. And that can't be allowed to live and thrive in this world. I need to get rid of this because I need to protect those that are truly innocent from your malicious ways. And the fact that despite being in the swamp, despite knowing that there was another demon he still had to go out and fight, he still took it upon himself to find that pouch with the trinkets in it to give that boy some comfort, to give him something to hold on to so that he has a memory of his fiance, that he has something of hers. It's just the kindness and the thoughtfulness, and even in the intensity of the battlefield, in the heat of the fight, he's still thinking about somebody else. He's still thinking about bringing them a trinket back so that they have something that they're not completely bereft of that memory. It's just so selfless. I just love him. He's such a sweet boy. But next episode is going to be very exciting. I'm sure we're going to learn more, especially this weird family dynamic that he has created for himself and this demon that's also gone on a rampage. But thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this react, please consider liking, subscribing, and leaving a comment below to help boost this video into the algorithm. Until next episode, bye!